A cavalcade of great entertainment with the top stars in show business. See The Sullivan Years, a tribute to Ed, with host Dick Cavett tonight at 7:30, 6:30 Central on CBS.
George, I just love our new Jeep Cherokee.
Yeah.
But what I really like is the terrific way it handles in slippery weather.
I like the way it navigates the rocks and sand back in
Yes,
the
George,
boondocks.
but you know wet weather makes me nervous. Remember the big snow? Those roads were terrible. I felt so secure the way my Cherokee hugged the road.
What about the way four-wheel drive handles mud, huh? Besides, whose Cherokee is this?
Mine.
Mine.
It's ours.
Okay, ours.
Jeep Cherokee, the versatile family-sized Jeep and a half.
Men's watches have progressed from stem winding to self-winding to the ultimate, the LED quartz electronic. This is the magnificent Kentronics LED quartz. Push this button for bright instant time. Push another and read the date. Push both and tick off the seconds. This incredible watch sells for $250, but for just 3 days on sale for $149.95 at the May Company, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday only.
KNXT, Los Angeles.
We are at halftime at the Boston Garden, and the Celtics have been conducting a clinic. They lead the Milwaukee Bucks 57-44. Watch Paul Westphal, number 44, break down the center of your screen with a steal, take it all the way for the stuff. The second-year pro from Southern Cal has scored 10 points. Now, if you're looking for interesting things that happened in the first half, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar scored 10 points, but Oscar, he now is saddled with 3 fouls. That could be very important here in the last 24 minutes. What will Milwaukee have to do to get back in this game?
Well, one thing we'll have to do, Brent, is play better defense because they're not getting back on the break. Boston is running very good right now, and if they can continue to do this, the confidence is up, and they're going to play a great game.
Oh, Paul Silas gave us a show rebounding, didn't he?
Well, he does. He does a good job when he's in there. He seems to have a great smell for the ball no matter where it is on the board. But I think Collins has been very active against Kareem and has done a great job against him inside on the defense.
Bobby Dandridge, the high point man for both teams with 14. Now, Pat Summerall will have highlights of the first half. He'll be along with Sonny Hill right after this message.
You'll see the best in basketball when you watch the NBA. When you watch the NBA on CBS.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware man. He knows you need to fix things, he shows you how you can. His price is right on everything, and he's got your favorite brand. Ace is the place with the helpful hardware man. Yeah, Ace is the place with the helpful hardware man.
Isn't this the way you want to love? The way you look says a lot about you.
The man who uses Vitalis liquid has neat, well-groomed hair. He wants it that way because he knows it's a look that says a lot. Vitalis liquid.
The way you look says a lot about you.
I am no longer the greatest. Ridge is. He's fighting multiple sclerosis, a disease that comes out of nowhere. It may attack your arms, your legs, sometimes your feet, your eyes, or even worse. He's fighting to keep his body going until we find the cure. We've got to find the cure for Ridge and hundreds of thousands of others. We can whip MS if you help, and then you will be the greatest.
Pat Summerall and Sonny Hill in CBS Sports Control here in New York. And Sonny, of course, is our CBS NBA basketball editor. So it's time for NBA News, our weekly look at scores, highlights, and the action around the league. And Sonny, yesterday, in trades in the NBA, the New York Knicks picked up Neil Walk and Jim Barnett from the New Orleans Jazz. They gave up Henry Bibby, a first-round draft choice in 1975, and $100,000 in cash. What do you think?
Well, I think the key in the trade is Neil Walk because of the fact that he's an outside shooter and he should fit in very well with the Knicks' perimeter-style offense. The other key is the #1 draft pick, for the New Orleans team. They had given up their #1 draft pick in the Pete Maravich deal when they first came into the league. And also Henry Bibby, who should fit in very well with Pete Maravich because Henry's a great outside shooter and he has great quickness.
Jim Barnett, I guess you'd have to say, would be sort of the sleeper in this trade.
Well, Barnett is an old pro, and he should fit in very well with the Knicks because he's an aggressive ball player, and he also should be a very good crowd-appealing ball player because he's exciting out on the floor.
He has the reputation of being somewhat of a flake, I think you'd have to say.
I agree with you.
All right, and Kansas City, this is another trade now. Kansas City, Omaha traded Nate Williams for New Orleans' Rick Adelman and Ollie Johnson, and what do you think of that?
I'm a big Ollie Johnson fan. I know him from Philadelphia, from the Big Five, and I think he will help the Kansas City Omaha Kings with the strong side forward. He can rebound, he plays excellent defense, and Nate Williams will give the New Orleans team a strong swing man. He can play front and back, and he's a great outside shooter.
Okay, Sonny, let's check out scores this last night now. Detroit won 19, Buffalo won 13.
In that particular ball game, McAdoo and Bob Lanier had a shootout, and McAdoo came out a little ahead in scoring, and also he led his team to victory. Notice here Dave Bing as he sets up Bob Lanier. Now he clears the area. Lanier now goes to the basket for a hook shot. Notice the quickness on the part of Lanier, and also the strength as he goes back to the basket. They say turnabout is fair play, so McAdoo is able to do what he can do best. Gets a lot of pressure from Lanier. Now he goes to the basket, and quickness is his game. Field goal. Good defense on the part of the Buffalo team, and they like to run. McAdoo with the rebound. Kicks it out to McMillan. Oh, that's Gar Hurd. Hurd finds Smith. Field goal. Now we'll see the Detroit Pistons with good defense by Lanier. This is called a controlled fast break, and that's what Detroit likes to do. Bing waiting for the lanes to be filled. Finds Adams. Adams with the pass into Lanier, and that's called finding the open man. Good smart basketball on the part of Chris Ford and Bob Lanier. Chris calls for the screen. Lanier sets the screen, rolls away. Now as he rolls away, Chris Ford goes over top as he's open for a jump shot. Good basketball.
So that was last night. Ford, by the way, had a big game, one of his biggest as a pro. Cleveland 112, Atlanta 108.
They needed that. Cleveland is fighting for a playoff berth, so any wins they get, they will appreciate them.
I'm sure they will. And Seattle 93, Portland 91.
Portland could also say, should I say Seattle should say, thank you, Archie Clark, because he hit a jump shot with 5 seconds to go in the ball game.
A couple of games this afternoon in the NBA. One of them is over. Philadelphia beat Houston 90-77.
Philadelphia's playing good basketball, even though Steve Mix is out hurt now. Gene Shue has that ball club playing good defense.
There's one other game underway right now, Washington at Chicago, but no scores yet. We talked a little bit earlier about Bob Lanier's performance against Buffalo last night. 39 points, 20 big rebounds, 6 assists. All of those contributing to his selection by our basketball staff as the CBS NBA Player of the Week. As the Pistons went 3-1 on the week, Lanier averaged 30.5 points a game with 57% shooting average from the floor, a little better than 12 rebounds a game and 3.3 assists. So his performance in that big game against Buffalo last night more than justifies Bob Lanier's selection as our Player of the Week, and I'm sure you'd agree, Sonny.
Yeah, Bob Lanier happens to be one of my favorite basketball players, and I don't even feel that he has really tapped his great potential yet. He has the unique ability to combine 2 ingredients, strength, and he's very graceful. And along with that, this makes him the great basketball player that he eventually will be, and right now he's a pretty good one.
You really don't appreciate his bulk until you stand next to him, and then that just magnifies what you say about quickness and agility.
I agree with you wholeheartedly because he's a big man.
He sure is. Let's look at highlights of the first half of this game between Boston and Milwaukee. And here they come.
Boston had the best of it in the first half, and they did the thing that they can do so well. That's find the open man. Nelson, Don Chaney, layup, Celtic style. And again, the Celtics with good movement of the ball. JoJo White misses, and here's Paul Silas, the best offensive rebound in the game. This is good alertness on the part of the Celtics, and they steal the ball away, and they did a lot of that in the first half. Kareem had a lot of difficulty. Finkel puts pressure on him, and Finkel makes him force up a sky hook coming with the left hand. Great steal by Paul Westphal, and this is a schoolyard dunk. That's New York style slam dunk there.
Well, that's pretty good style and pretty effective. What do you think, Sonny, about the second half now?
I feel that Boston, if they can continue to apply the kind of pressure that they have at this point, will not have any problem. The Milwaukee Bucks really are not a strong basketball team this year, Pat. They've had a lot of trades. They've changed personnel in recent years around, and Boston is getting stronger every game, and they know how to apply a lot of pressure to Kareem, and Kareem has not been a factor in the first half of the game.
Okay, Sonny Hill, and we'll be back after the game, but right now we'll be ready for the start of the third quarter in just a moment.
With all your worries on a business trip, it shouldn't be too much to ask for a rent-a-car with wipers that wipe, lights that light, and heaters that heat. That's why Hertz introduced 54 of the toughest new standards in the industry. Standards for faster counter service and to help improve car maintenance, right down to testing the windshield wipers and washers between each rental. New standards in the industry from the worldwide leader. Rent a Ford or other fine car from Hertz. It's one less thing to worry about.
You probably use some extra antiperspirant before a tense situation. But even if you spray twice as long, most sprays still won't keep you drier than 2 seconds of dry formula Sure. Try Sure on your right side for just 2 seconds. Then try your spray on your left side for twice as long. If you're like most people, your spray won't keep you drier than 2 seconds of Sure.
Your spray won't keep you drier than 2 seconds of Sure.
John Havlicek. I'm standing in the museum area of the National Basketball Hall of Fame, tracing the development of the sport I enjoy so much. It is interesting to see how the equipment has changed since basketball was first played near here in 1891. You too can learn about the history of the sport by visiting the Hall of Fame at Springfield, Massachusetts. It is open daily except for Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's Day.
The Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame at Springfield College.
The NBA on CBS will continue after this word from your local station. The Shah of Iran talks about the world's struggle over oil and energy on 60 Minutes, today on CBS.
When you compare values, remember, all those features are standard on this all-new Toyota Corolla. Still, it's the lowest priced car in America. So if you missed any, we'll do it again. Now, if you still missed something, just get this book, The Small Car Bargain Hunter's Guide. It's free at your Toyota dealers. Compare. Then you can't miss.
It's National Ortho Month, and Ortho celebrates with a variety of sensational sales, each for a limited time only. Save on this low introductory price. The Orthomatic King will be $199.95. Save $41.95. Imagine a king size for only $158. Hurry, this sale is for a few days only. Another big saving, the Ortho Classic King size, now $299.95. These National Ortho Month prices include the famous Ortho Pack and Double Bonus. Ortho has 60 factory
KNXT,
showrooms.
Los
Hurry to the one near you today.
That was a fantastic tennis match from Las Vegas. And, Oscar, we will try to equal it here with a devastating second half from the Boston Garden.
That's true. The Celtics are playing very good basketball now. They're doing everything right. It's a mark of an experienced basketball team. They're setting up very good and really executing out there.
As we look at Milwaukee's first half scoring, Abdul-Jabbar hit only 5 of 17 from the field. That's the key statistic. Boston's first half scoring, Cowens with 12, Havlicek with 10, Westphal, who came off the bench, also threw in 10. Paul Silas will start for Boston. He will not come off the bench this time. Cheney and JoJo are in the backcourt. Gary Brokaw, the rookie from Notre Dame, with possession. He and Jimmy Price play catch. They started at guards. Kevin Rustani is in the game. He did not start the first half. Give and go. Knocked away by Big Red.
Good block. Here comes the wave now.
Havlicek back to Cowens. Cowens joins them late. He has tremendous run.
And he's still at it. He's been playing a tremendous game so far, all over the court. Just saw that.
59-44. Abdul-Jabbar maneuvering. He must score a ton in the second half to get the Bucks back in there, and he certainly is capable of it.
But I think what the Bucks will have to do is get their offense started a little faster, because although they're getting the ball down into Kareem, they're taking a lot of time to get it done.
Havlicek, Dandridge there with him. Cowens again outside.
And it looks to me so far in the second half, Brent, that they're going right to Collins because Kareem is laying back on the basket. He's not getting out, and Collins is knocking in a little 15-foot jump shot.
Havlicek does an outstanding job on Bobby Dandridge. He has it this time. Dandridge does not hit, and Big Led with the outlet pass to JoJo White. Silas back to Havlicek, who's wide open.
The Green Wave can really bring it to you, and that's what they're doing right now.
Timeout by Larry Costello. He has seen enough. We are 1 minute and 20 seconds into the second half. And Larry said, that's not what I told you in the locker room. Let's see if we can get things together. So our score in the Boston Garden, 63-46.
These are Motorcraft Auto Parts. In tests supervised by an independent testing company, over 6,000 parts like these were installed in fleets of Ford, Plymouth, and Chevy taxis to see how tough the parts really were. After 3 million tough taxi miles, less than 1% of the parts couldn't take the punishment. When your car needs a battery, oil filter, shock absorbers, or tune-up parts, ask for Motorcraft Quality Auto Parts from Ford. Taxi tested tough.
When they asked me to try light beer from Miller, I was at first reluctant to do so. Then my distinguished colleague, Lodge Lewis, urged me to try it, so I tried it. And I discovered that light is indeed less filling because it contains less carbohydrates and 1/3 less calories than their regular beer. I observed further that light truly tastes great. All right, Louis, drop the beer.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Now, a movie so big, it required 2 major studios to make, based on 2 best-selling novels, in production for 3 years, at a cost of over $14 million. The combined talents of 11 great stars, and the producer of the Poseidon Adventure have created the one film that towers above them all. Irwin Allen's production of The Towering Inferno. Check newspapers for a theater near you. Rated PG.